I think the current retail scene is probably more competitive than it's ever been, more lively than it's ever been, and especially in the growth channels. So discount now, I'm seeing that in a lot of markets. The likes of Lidl, Aldi, Netto really growing strongly, and moving into convenience, which is putting pressure on the existing convenience retailers. And of course online, it's one of these things that there are cost challenges with online e-commerce, but you have to be in it to protect your current business. So they're the key challenges I see at the moment, online and discount. Well, SPAR International's in 42 countries, and we're growing. I already mentioned at a conference that we're looking at other markets as well, markets like Pakistan, markets like Thailand, and really in SPAR International we're looking east. We're looking east. That's where we see the growth, that's where we see the population, that's where we see the middle class growing, we see people's incomes growing as well. And not only that, I think the traditional sector that has served these emerging markets so well in the past, customers want more now. Customers are tech savvy, customers are exposed to international standards and are much more demanding. So we see moving east as a real opportunity for us and a very exciting and vibrant market. Russia and China are both big markets for SPAR International, and SPAR last year in Russia we achieved 1.4 billion euros of sales, China 1.9 billion euros of sales. In Russia, the real challenges there have been geopolitical this last 2.5-3 years. Obviously we've had sanctions and trade restrictions as well, which has meant that we can't import fruit or vegetables or anything from Europe. We've seen the oil price drop, and Russia's a predominantly oil-based economy. We've seen high food inflation, we've seen the cost of capital over 20%, 21, 22, it's put enormous pressure on retailers. So what we're seeing the retailers do now, and the survival strategy in Russia has really been around, one, domestic product, so introducing private label into the stores. Something that the Russian shopper and consumer was not confident about before, but because of the restrictions they've had to look inside about self-production in dairy and so on and so forth. I think the second thing is about efficiencies. So our businesses have had to become much more efficient. It's meant, unfortunately, store closures and a real focus on value and efficiency in the stores in Russia. Nevertheless, we're really very, very well placed. There's been consolidation in the market, and we have great opportunities, especially in the larger cities, Nizhny Novgorod, Moscow, St. Petersburg, very, very strong growth markets for us in Russia. In terms of China, obviously we talked this morning about the sheer size of China and our business there. We talk about the hypermarket and the big box dying, which seems to be a global trend, but not necessarily in China. I mean, we have these huge populations, tier 2 and tier 3 cities with 10, 12 million people in, and we continue to grow strongly in China. In China, we've also had to evolve, again, because of smartphones and e-com, and also the small format stores. So we're entering the small format stores and supermarkets and convenience really well and really strongly in China. Yeah, I've really enjoyed the World Retail Congress Asia Pacific this year. My last time, I think, was about 3-4 years ago in Hong Kong. And this is it's a bigger event, it's growing. But what I've really enjoyed this year is about the actual diversity. So in the arena, in terms of the delegates and the speakers, we've had economists, we've had people strong in e-commerce, strong in apparel, strong in luxury, food cooperatives and so on. So for me, the diversity of the attendees has been excellent, and the Congress has been excellent, but the breakout sessions, the networking sessions, the lunch, the exchange of business cards, that's a real value add for me.